So I was watching it's a classic horror movie. It's from the 80s and it's very politically incorrect. Like even for the 80s, like holy shit, this is really incorrect, right? Politically incorrect. And it's called Sleepaway Camp. Have you ever heard of Sleepaway Camp?
I was going to say Interview with the Vampire.
No, that's a 1994 movie, and it's more of a drama than a horror movie.
Dramatic.
Yeah, no, this is Sleepaway Camp. This is like
Never heard of it.
This is
Never heard of it
so
once.
the premise of the show. I'll just go over the premise of the show real quick. Premise and spoilers because if you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, shame on you.
Shame on you and me.
So this dad and his two kids, daughter and son, get into a boating accident, and the dad and the son die. Okay, and the mom or the aunt takes in the remaining kid. Okay, Angela, and then she sends Angela and her son to the summer camp. Okay,
A nice aunt or a bad aunt?
She is an aunt who's very proper, weirdest character ever. Like this lady was like I don't even know what the direction was for her acting. It was very, very weird.
Be an aunt.
It was so weird. She was so Anyway, very excited about I'll be pretty. Don't whatever.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so they get to the camp and people start dying, and it's always the bad kids, the kids who do whatever. Long story short, at the end of the movie, it's Angela who's doing the killing, and there's the creepiest. I want you to your homework for today. I'm just doing it right off the bat.
Wow, that's so fast.
This is so easy. In fact,
Gotta write it down, or else I'm gonna
you
forget.
can even watch it right away.
Okay.
Is Sleepaway Camp ending? Okay.
Okay.
Should I spoil it for you, or should you just watch it?
I mean, that's enough homework.
Okay, so Angela is the killer.
Yeah.
And then they show like a window into a little bit of why she's a little
Her
demented.
internal monologue.
Okay, so there's a little big reveal.
Okay.
It's actually one of the creepiest endings to a horror movie, just based on what the actress does to it. So we'll talk about that another time. Anyway, in the movie, there's the cousin. Okay?
Yes.
And the cousin goes, he's like all the kids swear and they're like, fuck you. Anyway, so this one guy goes, the second main character goes, eat shit and die. He goes, oh yeah, eat shit and live. Which I thought was the greatest insult in the history of mankind.
You eat shit and you live with that shit.
You eat shit and live. And the guy's like, oh. So let me ask you this, Tanner. Would you rather eat shit and live or watch The Big Bang Theory?
Give me a spoonful of shit.
Yeah.
Welcome to Radical Apathy, the podcast where two half-wits set out to solve all the world's problems with pop culture references and a lackadaisical attitude. Why not? It's worked so far.
Welcome to the Radical Apathy Podcast. I'm Corbyn.
And I'm Tanner.
And this is the Radical Apathy Podcast.
Radical
Brought to
Apathy.
you by Radical Apathy.
The Radical Apathy show is brought to you by Radical Apathy.
Yeah, it's a sponsorship deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or what do we get? What's the sponsor? What do we got to do?
We pay for the show.
Right, but as someone being sponsored, we have to shout out.
We give money to the Radical Apathy Podcast show, which we own and operate.
Yeah. Okay.
We're self-funded.
Do I do that?
I guess we're self-funded.
Do I
That's what I'm trying to say.
I will give you $5.
Okay.
And you give me $10.
So I watched The Naked Gun the other day with my son.
Well, first, second,
first one.
third. Okay,
First one. And he's like, yeah, give me the information of the guy. He's like, oh, what's it worth to you? Oh, here's a 20. And he goes, what's it worth to you? A little bit more. And he's like, why? What do you need to know that for? He goes, well, I forget. Well, how about this? And he gives them the money back, and it goes back and forth. That's what this was just now.
We're basically Leslie Nielsen's incarnate.
They're making a Naked Gun remake.
Yes, they are.
With Liam Neeson.
Yes, they
and
Liam Neeson as Leslie Nielsen's son.
Whoa.
In canon.
Frank Drebin Jr.
Yeah.
And Pamela Anderson is in that movie.
Oh, PA.
Little PA. Now, this is going to sound really insulting to women everywhere.
Okay.
Buckle up.
Standard for Radical Apathy.
Pamela Anderson has made a habit lately of purposefully not wearing makeup.
Okay. Yeah.
I formally request Pam.
Yeah.
For The Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Throw on that makeup. Put it back on.
I have a counter argument for you.
Oh God, go ahead.
In and amongst the dark times.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I went to Comic-Con in Montreal.
And you were wearing makeup.
Well, yeah, I wear that every day.
Okay.
I'm not insane.
Comic-Con in Montreal, really?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Comic-Con in Montreal.
Okay.
And
Pamela Anderson was there.
Pamela Anderson was there.
Stunning in person.
Stunning.
Yeah.
She had a ball cap
Yep.
and just a windbreaker and just walking around high-fiving Chuck Norris and Danny Trejo, who were also there. Yeah, she looked great.
Listen, honestly, though, this is all to the fellas right now. This is what we're saying. Fellas, listen up.
Hey, guys. Hey, fellas. Hey, oi. Okay, I'm ready.
Pamela Anderson was, other than our wives, was the greatest female specimen in the history of the world.
Like, I feel like there's a timeline there, or just in general, carte blanche
forever.
I mean, I'm not
Most
there.
Searched female in the history of the internet.
That can't be true.
I'm pretty sure it's true.
Okay. Here's my problem. I think it's generational.
Yeah,
because you're old.
Yeah,
and I think yes for your generation.
Yeah,
but it's just. I mean, I could have appreciated it, but like, I'm just coming in. I'm just squeaking below the line there in age.
Put it this way. She's in all the Playboy magazines, and that's when magazines were a thing. So that's how young I am. There was magazines.
I had to use,
and she was in all the Playboy magazines.
Yeah,
and like as teenagers, we were like, we need to find out how to get these Playboy magazines.
Yeah,
and there was no eBay back then, kids. No Kijiji. There was Find a Dude. He had a guy named Bob Sakamoto.
Yeah,
and you got your Pamela Anderson mag. And then the creme de la creme, the mecca happened to all boys.
The tape.
The release of not that tape.
Oh
no, even better.
No,
because it came first. Was Barbed Wire, the movie Barbed Wire.
Old Barb.
And so I was watching the movie Barbed Wire a couple of weeks ago, and
comic book movie.
I had to finish it just to make sure. It was like, was it good? Yeah, I had to finish it just to make sure.
Yeah. Is it not? I don't remember.
I'm proud to say it's fantastic.
Come on now.
Everybody should watch it.
It can't be that
That's
good.
a man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you never seen Barbed Wire?
I have.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time.
Listen, everybody.
I remember bits and pieces, and the bits and pieces I remember I remember them because I was a young adolescent teenager when I watched it.
Yeah. This is one of those things where, shout out to all the fellas out there. If you know, you know.
Yeah. That's what I know. That's
what
I'm indicating.
Yeah.
Of those are the memories.
You're saying you don't know.
Those are the memories that I have.
Yeah.
Are those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this. Open up with a little softcore porn for the show.
Yeah. I mean, hey, this is comic book porn.
Yeah. Comic book porn.
Are we going to get comic book porn with the new Deadpool?
I don't think so.
I don't think he has the
No, like that kind of.
It's still Marvel.
That kind of exploitation doesn't happen in movies anymore.
You don't think so?
Like where? Like, give me an example.
What is the movie?
Yeah.
Where, Well, there's
What's the last movie you sat with your wife and you're like, okay, like you're gonna watch the movie, but you kind of, you peek out of the corner of your eyes. And you're like, okay, is she watching me watch the movie?
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation?
Yeah.
That was not exploitative.
Yeah.
No, there was no nudity in that movie.
What? Oh, well, okay. Well, we're saying softcore. So the grandparents arrive.
Yeah.
And the children are very upset that they have to give up their bedrooms to the family.
Right.
Right. And we pan through the evening, the nice Christmas music in the background as we go through all the parents and no one's sleeping and everyone upset because of the sleeping arrangements.
Yeah.
And then we pan up onto the not Papa Griswold, Papa. What's her maiden name? They say it.
I don't know what her maiden name is.
They do say it. It'll come back.
Yeah.
Her father.
Yeah.
On the top bunk, looking at a poster, and I believe it's of Betty Page.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Is that right?
So, okay, I just got to say, if that is the one you're looking at the corner of your eye.
I gave a little corner eye, and I was like, hey.
Like, you can never watch Barbed Wire then, ever.
Well, I mean.
Ever.
But Betty Page.
You don't, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I don't even know who Betty Page is.
Well.
You're going to show me a picture of Betty Page?
I'll show you a picture of Betty Page. If anyone is going to Google Betty, it was Betty Page.
Yeah.
Because I just saw the picture that it was.
The internet's least searched woman. Okay, Betty Page. I don't recognize her. She looks like Annette.
Annette Bening?
No, Annette.
Or a fishing net.
Annette Funicello.
Annette Funicello? Who would have...
That's what she looks like. That's how old she is.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is like a 40s, 50s person.
There's only one Annette.
Annette Bening?
No. Annette Funicello.
we've kind of been all over here out of the gate, haven't we?
This is great.
We thank you for joining us. We don't have a guest today.
No guest.
It's just us.
Oh God, they're terrible too.
We
Aren't they
immediately
bad?
went, of course. What
Oh,
guests?
Our guests are terrible.
All of our guests have been awful.
It's like
Terrible.
Have you done it? Are you new?
Yeah.
Guest?
And they just sit there and they wait to be waited on.
Yeah. Oh, you got to ask the questions.
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Yeah. The average superior guys made us bring them drinks.
Yeah. What was that about?
I don't know. They're handsome though.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't look. I didn't look it up in the eyes.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're handsome though.
What were their names again?
There was CJ, which
CJ.
stands for Crichton Jeremiah.
Fun fact: Pamela Anderson's character in Baywatch was also named CJ.
Was also a CJ. Oh my
Yeah.
God! Did we just?
We just did it.
Are we unfolding something here?
This is
We brought it all back around.
bam.
Radical apathy. God, we're good at this.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Yeah. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you were the president of this country or prime minister or whatever,
Captain Country. Well,
or if you were captain country for the day,
Yeah.
what is something you would pass into law which is small enough that it won't get repealed the next day?
I thought we were gonna have fun today. What
No.
the fuck?
I want to know your answer to this.
Okay, so mine is very, very selfish and stupid and not going to benefit 98% of the population.
That'd be benefit.
Okay, so in Vegas, okay,
Mhm.
and actually in the States in general,
Yeah.
if you win over $1,200,
Okay.
they tax you on it.
Right.
That's the tax threshold, and you get taxed up the ass. Now in Canada, you can go through a big lawyer process and get it back if you go from Canada, but in the States, you can't get that back. And so what I would do is, it's ridiculous because the last time they adjusted that limit was in like 1978.
Oh, God.
So what I would say is I would increase that gambling threshold to at least $5,000, maybe even $8,000. And I would say that's when you start getting taxed on your winnings in Vegas.
What an incredibly thought out professional answer.
Thank you.
Mine
Go.
was if two people came across each other while they were holding lightsabers,
Oh, wow.
they were legally allowed to battle regardless of where they are.
I didn't know we were doing funsy ones. I thought you wanted a real answer.
Well, I did, and you gave me one. That was a great
That
answer.
was a good answer.
I feel like mine.
Dude, so lightsaber bat, like duels. Just
Two people with a lightsaber, regardless where they are legally allowed to duel. It doesn't matter if they're in a china shop. Doesn't.
I will allow this under one condition.
Okay.
That you're also legally bound to play Duel of the Fates in the background.
Yeah, someone has to go and get.
Someone has to have a boombox to
Yeah.
play Duel of the Fates. That's actually a good song. Too bad
Oh,
it was
it's-
wasted in such a shit movie.
Yeah. It was a good song though.
Good song.
It's such a good
Really good song.
Okay, thank you for answering my question.
Yeah.
Hey, Corbin.
Yeah.
We ask questions on this podcast.
Yeah, we ask all the questions.
One of the first ones we ask are, what are you playing?
You know what? I'm really excited about this.
Tell me about it.
Okay, now the game's going to sound a little lackluster. It's the way we got to it. It's exciting to me.
Okay.
Okay.
Walk us through it.
So the game is Pokemon Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Okay.
So which I think is one of the better top two
2011?
2012.
2012? Yeah,
2010, 2011, 2012. On the Nintendo DS. Okay. And you're like, Corbin, where'd you get that Nintendo DS from that you're playing this
Hey,
on?
Corbin,
Yeah.
where'd you get that Nintendo DS you're playing this on?
One fact. So let's go back to our Android versus iPhone competitor thing. So
Green Bubble Friend episode, if you want to roll back.
yeah, Green Bubble Friend. So for years and years and years and years, Android has allowed emulators on their app store.
Correct.
And they have been successful to various degrees. But they've had quirks that I like, okay, this is good, but it's not where it can be. Apple has just opened up emulators to their app store.
After 15 years behind
After 15 fucking years. And the one that was published and released is the best emulator I've ever used. And it's called Delta.
Okay.
And it emulates NES, SNES, Nintendo 64, Nintendo DS, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. Flawlessly.
Come on now.
I'm not lying to you. It's flawless, and it's just awesome. So I spent the last 2 days just playing Pokemon Black literally all day long. All day long. And I've been catching a lot of Pokemons. And the program, because I like to have fun with my games sometimes. When you replay it, you have a little different
Mix
fun,
it up.
right? So it allows you to do cheat codes. And so put a little twist in here, a little twist in there. Use classic cheat codes to make your games even more fun.
And this is all from your phone.
All from my phone.
And what did this cost you?
$0.
Free emulators.
Free
And
emulator.
is that good? Being free? Is it full of ads?
Ad-free, perfect emulation. I'm not lying to you.
What's the catch here?
There's the catch is this. The catch is you have to have your own ROMs, and we can't tell you how to get your own ROMs.
Oh, okay.
But I know how to get my own ROMs.
Right.
Okay, I've got cartridges that I rip them off of,
Yeah.
and I download them to my computer. They've been on my computer for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Cartridges that I owned,
Legally purchased.
legally
Yep.
purchased.
Absolutely done.
I have paid for all of them.
All of them are owned.
Took the data from those cartridges,
Of which you own.
I own, and put them on the iPhone. Yeah. Pokemon Black.
Okay. I did.
Yeah.
I think actually Pokemon White and Black was the last big generation that I stopped like playing religiously.
Oh, X and Y was so good on the 3DS.
Yeah, I think I may have touched Y, but I like on it. Yeah, I think after Black and White, I kind of I fell off a little bit.
That's fair. Not only that, Black and White, but they did a follow-up, Black and White 2.
Yeah.
Which was not a redo of the game in any way.
Sequel.
It was a sequel.
Yeah.
And guess what's next? Black and White 2. Yeah.
Black and White, Black and White. Pokemon Y 2 was just announced.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off in your face.
All right.
Pokemon Y Part 2?
Part 2 was their last announcement, the last Nintendo Direct.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How did I not hear this? And how do we talk about this?
I don't know. I just thought of that when you brought Pokemon Y.
I'm going to say this again.
Yep.
Pokemon Y Part 2.
Yes.
Everything I said was accurate.
Just like Black and White 2, but
Yeah.
Pokemon Y Part 2. Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
That game was so good.
Yeah. That's coming back with a sequel.
Oh, that was great. Great news. What are you playing?
I have gone back. I got a new computer, Corbin.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
I ended up getting a brand new
Is that it right there?
right here. Oh, guys.
Is this it? Am I looking at it?
Oh my God.
Wow. No, sit down.
Please, people.
My goodness.
Guys, stop what you're doing.
Oh, they keep going.
They're
It's
so
not a
happy
cord.
that
Okay, you got to get off the stage.
It's not. No, this is.
That's not it?
This is a laptop.
Why didn't you just... Oh, you got a computer.
I got a desktop.
You didn't bring the tower with you, huh?
Yeah, no, it's nice though.
Oh.
I was shopping around for a while. I like to
Where
I like
were
to
you
custom.
shopping?
I'll all the lines. Yeah,
On the
I go
lines.
through everything.
Did you build your own?
I did.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. I upgrade. I kind of do a bit of a 3-year cycle for. If you were to ask me what kind of gamer I am,
Yeah. You're a 3-year cycle gamer?
no. If you were to ask me,
Hey,
Yep.
what kind of gamer are you?
I'm a master race gamer. Thank you. Which, for those of you who don't know,
Windows.
is PC.
Yeah.
I got one that I am happy to say I'm very happy with.
Would you say you were more happy? Like, okay, we know that it's better than your last one.
Correct.
And we know that your last one was better than the one previously.
Correct.
But when you got this one,
Yeah.
was your elation more than your last ones when you got those ones?
Yes.
Okay.
So
that's
let's say this one's number A.
Yeah.
The one before was B. The one before was C.
Mhm.
The jump between B and C wasn't a whole lot.
Okay.
In just horsepower. The jump from A to B has been quite a bit, and I noticed quite a bit of difference.
See, I'm
there. So
confused. Is C the oldest one?
C is the oldest one.
Okay. Why wouldn't C be the newest one? Because it goes A, B, C.
Well, I set the parameters of A being the one I just bought. So
Okay.
That's
So the newest one from B to C, gigantic leaps and bounds.
B to C, not as much.
So no, A to B.
A to B, A to B is a lot better.
Okay. And did you get like a new monitor and everything with it?
So I bought the monitor about within the year. They kind of piecemealed that. So I actually went down. I had a curved 38,
Okay.
and I brought that down to a flat 32, mostly because
So you went from a Pamela Anderson to a Renee Zellweger.
yeah, because Renee can have proper
Such range.
2.1
She's got
HDMI
such
port.
range though.
Yeah, I mean, which rom-com are you going to watch? Renee or Pamela? Who's
Pamela,
carrying that movie?
all-
Come on.
All week long.
Come on.
And I won't laugh once.
No.
No.
That's my fun way to say it. So that's all preface. I've got the new computer. It
Okay.
works great. Super happy with it. I've downloaded the new games. It's a new computer, getting my stuff back up and running. And I re-downloaded Destiny 2
Okay.
because it's a good benchmark
Yeah.
for how it runs, how I play it. So I was kind of running the benchmarks on it. Pulled up Destiny 2 because it's always online. it's running on their servers and blah, 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 just seeing how things play. And you know what? Yeah, so then I just started, after about a few more hours, I was like, fuck, I'm just playing Destiny 2 now, aren't I? So I got back into Destiny 2.
Destiny 2.
That's my long story to say Destiny 2.
Yeah, but it was a good story.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this keyboard. So you just got the tower. That's the only thing you got.
Correct. My
How many gigabytes of storage?
Of storage?
Yeah,
1
storage.
terabyte of storage.
1 terabyte storage.
Yeah.
Any backup drives? Well, because 1 terabyte's not a lot for games.
No, but I don't clog it up because I don't like doing that. So I know a lot of people do this, and I'm the outlier here. I will only run a 1 terabyte. It takes up about 350 to 400 for all the bullshit like Windows and all that's on there.
Yeah.
So that takes you down to about a 750, and that keeps my downloaded library tight. And it stops me from just getting too wild with what I'm going on at one time. So I keep it tight, 3 to 4 to go.
Okay.
And then if I download a new one, I delete the other one.
Wow, you just fucking delete it. What if you want to revisit?
No, like most of my play is off.
You keep the saves.
So
the saves.
You can go back, but that's it.
How many gigabytes of memory? How much RAM?
Like so many of them.
All the RAM.
32
gigabytes of RAM. That's my guess. Go.
times 2.
You got 64
Yeah.
gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah.
How much did 64 gigabytes of RAM cost?
It was more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Am I violating like personal boundaries by asking you how much your RAM cost?
I have to go back and look at the bill to get the exact amount for the RAM.
Ballpark it. That's a sports term for put it in like a kind of. Give me
put it in the stadium.
approximation.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I would say probably somewhere in the ballpark. Is that how you said that?
Yeah. In the ballpark.
In the ballpark.
Yeah.
Between 250, 450.
Okay. If that was an Apple computer, that'd be like $1,300. There's such hunts when it comes to RAM.
Yeah. Oh, you can't use an Apple for any type of gaming.
No, you can't.
But I upgraded to the NVIDIA 4000 series,
That sounds serious.
which that's the GPU. That's your graphics card, and it is that upgrade from the 4 to the 3000 that NVIDIA did was a big jump.
Yeah.
In their cards. So I got a TI Super 4070, which is the best version of the 4070, which still clocks better than the fucking 4090 as far as I'm concerned. So all those numbers to make myself sound smart. I just threw that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, long story short, super nice. I got a kind of a sexy little Alienware case, little glass, some light up.
You turn it on the first time, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, light it, and it's like, kind of all litty.
This is so fast.
Oh my God.
Did you bring your wife in there? Look how
I did.
fast it is.
I said, wife, come look at this.
Now you're moving, right?
I'm moving.
So is that a pain in the ass to set up a whole new computer just to move it right away?
No, because I find the physical application of chords and chord management, I find that satisfying
And soothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just, especially in a new space.
Yeah.
Because they get to build a new office space. Because they can become cluttered and shitty so quick.
Yeah.
When you have your little home office. So that fresh start, brand new desk, brand new gaming desk.
Yeah.
No crumbs, no bits of cheesecake.
What do you
hiding under the table?
You can't eat cheesecake. Who are you kidding?
I know, but I just look at it.
Yeah.
I buy it.
Put it there and just crumble it.
I buy it, put it there, and just I mush my hands in the cheesecake so I can feel it. But I can't eat it. So that's why.
It's so cool that you did that.
Yeah, cheesecake.
Yeah. Yeah, the cheesecake.
Yeah.
No, getting a new computer. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. But don't worry, Ani, I'm not moving away from Corbyn. We're still here. We're still going to be doing our thing.
Yeah, we're still close.
Just moving different.
Upgrading. You're upgrading your home GPU.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Going to do cable management of my life.
Yeah. That's going to be good.
So that's why I'm playing Destiny 2.
Destiny Part 2. Back to that. Destiny Part 2.
We didn't assign homework last time
No.
because
We got
forgot.
carried away.
Yeah, we just got excited what we're doing.
Yeah.
But we've already laid out some homework.
I had to get it out of the way. I'm like, you got to. I'm serious when I say you got to check this out. It's creepy AF. And imagine yourself in like a dark theater watching this for the first time. You're like, holy shit, this is fucked up.
What year did it come out?
Like 1984,
Okay.
82, 83?
Well, we will get back to you.
Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
Remember, Sleepaway Camp
Sleepaway Camp.
ending. Google or
Okay.
YouTube, sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Google. So I'll tell you what I don't like in movies. I don't like car chases. In fact,
Okay.
I'll go an extra step here. I hate car chases
Wow.
in movies. I hate them.
Okay.
I think it's like just the ultimate waste of time in a movie. I feel like I'm being robbed movie time when there's a car chase.
Yeah.
How do you feel about car chases?
You know what? I see where you're coming from. I do. But I don't know. Part of me likes the fast zoomies and the flooping around.
It's all the
things.
same though. Like around the corner.
It is.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right. They're all the exact same. There's always the few caveat like Baby Driver, where the movie centers around that premise. I'm more inclined to it. Mad Max
was one,
right?
Or sorry, Fury Road.
Yeah,
It was one long car chase,
right. Which
had some substance to it. So I'll give
yeah,
you.
like if it's built around it, but yeah, just the obligatory
Just car chase.
action movie. Bad guy jumped in a car that was somehow waiting outside the place with the keys in it, and then good guy gets out and also grabs something with keys in it or a person, and robs them and then takes their vehicle.
That being said, what would you say might be your favorite car chase in a movie?
I know a lot of people give credit to.
If you say the one I'm thinking of, that'll be holy shit moment for me.
Well, the Gene Hackman movie.
Oh, definitely not.
Where he plays the French cop.
Yeah, the French
Connection. Jesus, there you go. Yeah. A lot of people give credit to the French Connection's car chase scene.
I haven't seen the French Connection.
Oh,
can you believe that?
I have no. Yeah, usually you're pretty good at this stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I don't. It is a good movie.
Yeah.
But like the way people talk about it, I was expecting a lot more going.
Because people talk a big game about the French Connection.
And the car chase scene.
Yeah.
People say, oh, the car chase scene in French Connection, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was, and maybe, I mean, obviously this was 40 years ago. So maybe then it was unreal.
Yeah, 50 years ago.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
God. But now, I mean, it was fine. It was fine. Let me think. You tell me yours. Let me think.
So the last time I saw a car chase, and I went to the person sitting next to me, and went, that was a good fucking car chase, was Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
I thought that car chase with Nick Fury was effing excellent.
Yeah.
I said effing.
Effing
excellent, man. It was a banger. It just, like, because it wasn't just a car chase, it was like a
spy shit.
It was a spy shit in the middle of the car. He's got the gadgets and he's got the gun and he's kicking out windows and there's a battering ram and a chase. Just a great car chase.
I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of the early recent Bond ones. I don't know if it was Casino or the one after Casino, which is
Casino Royale didn't have.
I mean, he just drives away and then rolls the car, right?
I don't think there was a car chase.
No, not a car chase per se. Like he drives the car and she's in the road. He pulls out of the way. It rolls.
The car chase. There's a car chase at the very beginning of Quantum of Solace, but I've purposefully forgotten the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
if it's trash.
Yeah,
but
I think it was
the opening car chase.
Yeah, I think it was the second movie.
Yeah, it was the second.
Had a good. I remember sitting there going, "Oh, this is actually pretty cool car chase."
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's all that's going to mind, and I think that means that you're right.
Yeah,
is that people just use them to fill time, and
I feel like I'm being stolen from.
Yeah,
like damn you, I gave you my money, and then I have a fucking.
Baby Driver's great now, because it sits at the point of the movie.
Now let's kind of flip it on the script.
Okay, flip script. I like it.
Not a car chase per se, but like Top Gun Maverick. Now that shit I could watch all day.
Oh, like
plane chases.
Plane chases? Yeah,
that's
of course I could.
Because they're like fighting too at the same time. That's cool stuff.
The what's a good? Oh yeah, no, like a good. Yeah, like, everyone likes a dogfight, right?
Yeah, dogfight.
I'm just looking at
to our viewers, not real dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
French Connection, number 2.
71.
Number 2. IMDb's second best car chase of all time.
Well, what's number 1?
French Connection. Number 1 is Bullet.
Actually, I've heard of that. Can you tell me where Captain America Winter Soldier that's on this list?
I'll go down. There's Vanishing Point, which I've never heard of. All these are in the 70s. Ronin.
Oh, yeah, Ronin had a good one.
That's a good chase.
That's the Robert De Niro one. Right?
Yeah, Robert De Niro. Yeah. To Live and Die in L.A.
Okay.
With Willie Peterson and William Dafoe.
Okay.
There is, God, these are all old. The Blues Brothers. I guess that's the one with all the cop cars they crash. They driving around. That's funny. Smoking the Bandits. But again, that
is a car chase. That whole thing is a car chase.
The 7 Ups. Never heard of it.
Okay, there's got to be newer fucking car chases.
They're all old. The Driver, which is another 78 movie.
Yeah.
Gone in 60 Seconds, but they're Gone in 60 Seconds, 1974, Gone in 60 Seconds, 2000, 10 and 11.
You know what? I'm glad it's not on there. Any Fast and Furious movie, because they're all hot shit.
It didn't even come to my mind to choose one of them.
Yeah,
because I'm with you.
They're all dog shit. Those movies.
There's Mad Max's. There's The Italian Job. There's Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah, like none of these are that. Like Bad Boys 2 was shit. Oh, Quantum Solace is on here.
Bad Boys 2.
Quantum Solace.
How was that? That was pretty good, right?
Was that British?
That was Nick Frost in Hot Fuzz.
That was an exact. Oh, Nick Frost. You said Nick Frost, and for some reason I thought Simon Pegg. That was more Nick Frost than Simon Pegg.
You haven't seen Bad Boys 2? That was pretty good, right?
There's White Lightning. None of these are.
You know what? Not only do car chases suck, the list of car chases also sucks.
This is not a good list of movies.
Yeah.
Our top 5 is way better than this shit.
Yeah.
IMDb. Get it together, IMDb.
Okay. I didn't even know you can search car chases like that or search stuff like that.
I guess so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, out of curiosity, search Google and see what we come up with.
We don't. What if the world implodes?
It won't, because we already withstood the Pamela Anderson.
What if 5...
And we came out okay on the other end.
Well, it just says Google.
What's that?
It just says Google. It says you can click on Google.
Sorry, what?
You Google Google.
I don't know what you're doing. I can't see from here.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, Google. No. Go to Google.
Yeah, Google.
And then search best car chases.
Oh, I thought you said Google.
Yeah, eat the mustard and the honey together. Jesus.
Honest to Christ, I thought you said Google. None of them, they're all going to be the same because it's the same 2 people that write all this shit. Yeah, Mad Max, Bullet.
Should we write a new
Ronin? I mean, everyone else's top 5 sucks.
Yeah.
Ours is really...
the whatchamacallit, Matrix Reloaded highway scene. That was good.
Oh, with the twins?
Yeah, with the twins and the whole highway scene. That was good. I'll give that one.
Okay.
Props, yo.
Yeah, the rest of these are all garbage.
Yeah.
Fuck them. No, don't like them. No, not good.
You pick a topic to talk about. I like this. This is a fun game.
This is a fun game. Yeah, I do have a topic I do want to talk to you about.
Okay, what?
There was the recent release of Fallout.
Oh yeah. Okay, I haven't
the television show.
I haven't seen it yet.
First of all, do you have a top 5?
I have a top 5 today.
We should probably do the top 5 first because this is going to get long.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I literally have nothing to say about it.
About your top 5?
No, about your Fallout thing.
Oh well, it's going to lead into a much bigger topic.
Is there going to be spoilers for the show though?
I will avoid spoilers for that show because it just came out.
Okay, is there mind bending cool twists in this show? Just out of curiosity.
Yep.
Okay, I like those kinds of movies or shows.
But in the meantime, let's do a
top 5. Give me that thing. Hit me one time. Bow. Okay, so I watched a movie the other day, and I've been meaning to watch it for about 6-7 years, and I finally watched it. And in watching it, it has now made me reevaluate. It's a movie top 5, but
it's new for us.
Yeah, it's new for us. These are the top 5 movies that they're not necessarily the best horror movies. These are the ones that scared me the most.
Oh. Scared Corbyn
the most.
Top 5 movies that scared Corbyn the most.
Yes. Now, first off, let me preface that, like comedy, fear is very subjective to the person.
Yep.
Okay? What I might find terrifying, you may not find terrifying.
So, tell you what, to show that in a podcast format, you tell me what it is.
Yeah.
You give your little spiel.
Yeah.
And on a scale of 1 to 10 spookums, I will tell you where I am.
But you haven't seen all these.
Well, you don't know. Maybe I have.
Number 5, that still haunts me to this day, is Jaws. Because the fear of something real, like super real, okay?
Yeah.
And the thing, it's so scary to me because like in a big lake, you can't see below the surface.
Right.
A lot.
Yeah.
And so in an ocean that terrifies, to this day, I refuse. I saw that movie when I was 5.
Yeah.
I refuse to go in the ocean. I will not go in the ocean.
8 out of 10 spookums.
8 out of 10 spookums.
Yeah.
This movie, and it's the suspense. Like the things do you remember it really well?
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't want you to, the things he did in the movie that creates one of the biggest things is you never see the shark in this one scene. And it's terrifying to me. and it's when they take the meat hook and put it in the roast and throw it out to thing, and then the shark takes the bait, but you don't see the shark.
Yeah.
And he goes flying, rips the dock off, brings the guy with him.
Yeah.
And he starts swimming back, and you see the dock slowly turn around.
Start to come
My
back.
heart, to this day, I've seen this movie 50 times, easy, 100 times probably.
Yeah.
Like so many times. It's my favorite movie. And to this day, that part, it just gives me grief and fear watching it. Like when I get scary, I move around and I pause things. Like if something's
You don't walk away. Got to step away.
yeah, if something really scares me, I pause it. I say, okay, I need a break.
Yeah.
And that it doesn't happen very often. Jaws, it happens every time.
They about a year ago they did a study, and by they I don't know who, to find out this exactly, what is truly subjectively across people the most scariest movie.
Really?
And it's Jaws.
Really?
Yeah, because they do the heart, they do the whole thing, and they wire people up, and you watch through these movies and blah blah blah.
And even if you see the shark as fake in this show, which it does look, I mean, it's a 1974 movie.
It is, yeah, but
right? But I mean, the situation is terrifying.
Yeah.
And even some of the shots with the mechanical shark are freaky. Like there's the one shot where the guy falls over off his boat, and he's sitting there, and they've got an overhead shot, and the shark's coming in sideways, and then he just goes down, and the guy goes with him, and you're just like, ugh.
You don't see it. Yeah,
it's terrifying, that part. It's terrifying me to this movie. Oh, I love it.
Wonderfully made movie.
Wonderfully made movie.
Yeah.
And it's everything about it.
8 out of 10 spookums.
Yeah, that scares me. Okay, never mind that it's a good movie. Not all these movies are good, but they're scary.
Yeah, it's just what scary is.
Scary.
Yes.
Number 4, The Exorcist. Let me tell you about the first time I did The Exorcist. I was in grade 9.
Okay.
And it was after my grade 9 grad, and we all had all our fellas and all our girlfriends went over to this one girl's house, and we watched The Exorcist for the first time. And we all went to Catholic school. Okay. And so you had like religion class every fucking day or whatever. And then we watched The Exorcist. So it scared the socks off me, just because back then, I'm not saying I'm a non-believer.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that the belief was really
more
prevalent there.
Yeah.
And then after the movie,
y'all made out like
we all made it. It was crazy. No, after the movie, someone goes, "Let's play Ouija board."
Oh,
and I'm like, "Are you fucking nuts?"
Let's ramp it up.
Anyway, it's you watch it today. It's scary. It's still scary because they take it so.
It's
seriously.
also well made.
It's so serious.
Yeah,
and there's no camp in it. Like if you look at the pea soup thing, like maybe people think it's a little campy, but other than that, like it's straight fire. That movie. And it's a slow burn too. Like it doesn't go fast,
which I like. I like the long walk.
Yeah, it's good. Number 3 is The Descent. Have you seen The Descent?
I don't. So spoilers. This is the scary cannibal people down there.
Yeah. So
okay. Yeah.
For the first half of this movie.
Oh, sorry. Exorcist.
Yeah. How many spookers?
7 spookers.
Really? Less?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Less than Jaws. Yeah.
And
mostly, I think it's because I have no belief in the nonsense.
Yeah.
Or sharks are real.
Yeah.
So sharks.
You know what? Maybe I should switch those. I might have to switch those.
Okay.
Yeah. So The Descent. So what this movie does so first off, it's about a group of girls that go spelunking, and the first 1/3 of this movie, 40% of this movie is getting you uncomfortable with the enclosed spaces of caves.
Yeah.
And you see multiple shots or multiple scenes of these people going in deeper and getting stuck physically in caves, and then they get trapped in caves and they can't find their way out of caves. That's terrifying to me as it is.
That's super scary.
I watched this movie in a theater that was very big, very dark, and that day that I went, it wasn't very busy. So what that did to me was it turned up the fear of isolation.
Okay.
And it kind of made me sensitive to that. And then the second or two, the last 3% of the movies are like, oh yeah, not only is that scary as hell, but there's these cannibal guys that want to eat you that are down there too.
Yeah. And
they just come and get you, and they can see in the dark, and it's all dark.
Yeah.
And they got glow sticks, and that's like your entire light source. And it's just freaky as hell. And so that just got me because it scared you twice in 2 different ways.
Would you ever go spelunking or cave
I
diving?
will never do any. Listen, I am so greedy. I will never do anything that will like truly risk my life. I'll never go skydiving. I'll never go bungee jumping. I will never go spelunking. I will never go surfing. Definitely never go surfing.
Because you're greedy to not lose money?
No, my greed is I want to not die.
Oh.
I care so about not dying or being hurt.
Yeah, that you know what? That's normal.
Yeah.
Going spelunking is stupid.
Yeah, I won't go hiking. I won't go camping.
I won't walk to the mailbox because there are people outside.
I don't like any of this outdoor shit where you can get lost or stuck or any of that shit.
Yeah, and
Out.
there's animals out there that'll eat your face.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's stupid. I'm sorry to offend all of our spelunkers in our audience.
Yeah, hikers. Do you hike?
No.
No. Fuck.
Like, of course I don't hike.
Hike is so
We invented cars so we don't have to hike.
Yes.
That's why we have
I
cars.
wanted to live like a homeless person. No, it's never mind.
Oh, I don't get it. Yeah, people are like, oh,
a homeless person joke. Oh.
9 out of 10 spookums for the descent. The are you a claustrophobic person?
You know what? I've never been. I think I will be. I would be. Like I think like if I not claustrophobic,
Yeah.
but if I got stuck in something.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's normal.
That's-
But like, do you have a physical reaction just from like believing in
Give me like what's like a small thing to be stuck in, do you think?
like a trunk?
Yeah, that would bug me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think about it,
Mhm.
but movies like that make me think about it, and then I talk myself into thinking that I'm a claustrophobic person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You build that in your mind.
Yeah.
And those movies are good at scaring me because you make it real in your mind, even though there's whatever invisible cannibal men.
Yeah.
But it's that aspect that makes it to me. So 9 out of 10 spookums.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 spookums for sure. Number 2, a little movie called The Strangers.
With what's his face?
Scott Speedman and Liv Tyler.
Oh, not who I was thinking of.
Came out like 2008. I think 2008, 2009. This movie was a home invasion movie. A couple
They were the masks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came home
The
from.
hoods.
There's a sequel coming out in this month, and a couple comes home from a wedding, and they're kind of on like a farm acreage type area, and these 3 people in masks just torment them and try to kill them. Okay. Spoiler alert. At the end, so they ended up killing her husband, and at the end of the movie, they're about to kill her, and the scariest line in the history of movies was uttered.
Oh.
So she goes to them. She's tied up in a chair, and they're about to kill her, and she goes, "Why are you doing this?" And they said, and this is how the movie ends. This is how fucking terrifying this is.
Okay.
They say, "Because you were home."
Hmm.
Mic drop. Holy shit. I had to stop this movie multiple times because it terrified me.
Yeah.
And I have not had the balls to watch this movie again in 15 years.
Because it's real.
The
Right?
top, here's the thing, the top 4, now we can argue about The Exorcist,
Well,
but
yeah.
but exorcism is a real thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
The job of
the job of an
real thing.
exorcist is a real thing.
Yeah.
There's so I'm going to classify the top 4 as things that could fucking happen to you.
Okay.
Maybe not the cave guys, but the being stuck in a cave.
Yes.
So very real fears play on real fears. Okay. But this last one is not like that. And this is the movie that I watched recently, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, that I've been meaning to watch for 7 years. The reason why we're talking about this.
7 years.
So it's called Hell House LLC.
Never heard of this one.
I know. It's an independent movie made on a very small budget. It's a found footage film.
Okay.
Okay. And found footage films are usually really bad. Not so with this one.
Okay.
This movie is about a group of people from New York who run a business where they make haunted houses for Halloween.
Okay.
And they leave New York and go to this small town called Abaddon. Now, Abaddon, for those kids at home, is a gateway to hell.
You know,
Or
in
the
case you're
protector
kind of-
of the gateway to hell in religious lore.
the demon Abaddon.
The demon Abaddon.
Yeah.
But the town's called Abaddon, and they buy a place, an old shut down hotel called the Abaddon Hotel. Okay.
Yeah.
And so they start dressing it up for their Halloween thing, and then you start seeing things, and weird shit starts happening. And then they do a found footage thing where it's the night of the opening, and you see like 15 people died on the night of this thing opening.
Yeah.
And you see like it's leading up, like it starts with kind of showing some of the footage, and then you get the story of how you got there, and then the show finishes with the footage of what actually happened that night.
Oh, okay.
But the leading up to it, I didn't know how scared of clowns I was until I watched this movie.
Ooh, yeah, clowns. Fuck, man.
So they dress up the hotel for Halloween, right? So
To be a haunted house.
to be a haunted house for people to walk through. And they have this one room with 3 clown dolls, like life-size clowns. Like life-size clowns. They look like life-size, and they're not cartoony clowns. And they're just sitting down on the ground in the basement. And they make a big deal about how their heads don't turn.
Okay.
And so it's kind of a shitty prop. They're like,
Yeah.
we got to save money this year. And so this one guy's just walking through the house, and he records everything because you have to have the character that, hey, I got to record everything,
Yeah.
right? Or else you don't have a found footage movie. And so he goes and he walks around this corner, and the fucking clown, the scariest of the 3, is standing there.
Ooh. And they don't stand.
And they don't stand, and it's staring down towards the basement. Like its head's forward.
Yeah.
And he's like, holy fuck, like, how did this get here? So that just terrified me. I had to pause it. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that, Tanner. Then he just says some shit, and he walks away. He's like, Tony, is that you? And he walks around. And he pans back to the thing, and the clown's head is fucking turned and is staring at him. Tanner, this scared the shit out of me. I was terrified. Anyway, for like 65% of this movie, it's just a bunch of shit with these clowns haunting these people in different positions. Like there's one where it just keeps getting closer and closer and closer, but you don't see it move ever.
So it's kind of like the Doctor Who's Angels, where you're not looking, they get closer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great
Thank you.
example.
Yeah.
Except these things are terrifying clowns.
Yeah, except they're not.
Actually, it's not terrifying clowns. It's one terrifying clown.
The scariest clown is the
scariest clown. Long story short, then it turns out to be this thing that the old owner was this satanic guy.
Yeah,
He was opening a gate to hell. And anyway,
the huge.
all the huge stuff. But these clowns really got me,
Really?
and I had to pause this movie. I had to pause this movie 6-7 times, easy, and I was unnerved. And I was around some people. So I watched the first half at my house, and then I watched the second half somewhere else, and there's people around me.
Okay.
And
Because you had to watch it in public?
yeah. And I'm like, I can't do this by myself. And so I'm around these people, and I had to pause it like 4 or 5 times. I'm just swearing about these goddamn clowns, and they're making fun of me. And I'm like, I couldn't. It was so scary. Like I just couldn't. Anyway, scariest movie I've ever seen.
Hell House LLC.
But because it's not as real as the other 4,
Yeah.
I think I will watch it again on Halloween every year.
Okay.
Whereas Strangers, I don't think I can watch it again. And The Descent, I still get uncomfortable watching it. And The Exorcist is like a once a decade movie.
Yeah, that one you can't just go back to every single day.
No, that's a once a decade movie.
Yeah.
And then Jaws is like once a year.
So have you seen the 2 sequels to Hell House?
So then I proceeded to watch the following 3 sequels to Hell House LLC.
There's a 4th Hell House?
Yeah, it just came out last year called Hell House LLC: The Carmichael Manor, which is actually it happens after part 3,
Okay.
but it explains stuff that happens before part 1.
I see.
Yeah, so it's not one of those things where, hey, the first one succeeded and we got more funding and we made it better. The actors are worse.
Everything kind of goes down.
Everything, but the clowns.
The goddamn clowns are still there.
The goddamn clowns are in all 3.
They're in all 3?
All 3, and they're terrifying.
They don't come up with a different bad guy.
The 4th one, the clown actually starts to move and walk and follow the. Oh.
You see it. Are the clowns the only bad monsters in the whole thing? Or are there other things?
Yeah, there's other things.
Okay.
Yeah. The clowns are the ones that got me though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Clowns, man. Like,
I just think they're supposed to bring joy, but when they bring hate, it's scary.
I love every time you kind of see like an actual like clown
Yeah.
on like the news or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
They're always just like the fucking Stephen King.
But you know
has
what?
wrecked everything.
But you know what? I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared of the. Although that's not true. I'm scared. The original TV series It
Oh,
was
yeah, that's
scary to me.
that was a young viewing for me.
That was a young viewing,
yeah.
and it's still scary to me. More scary than the two new movies. So still scared of clowns, kind of.
My older, much older sister always watched horror movies when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like she always was fine with it, and I hated it. I still hate it to this day.
Yeah.
So she would watch these things, and I would poke around corners and just catch glimpses as she's sitting there watching them. But that's the most I could do. Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
The abduction movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I just remember bits and pieces of the actual abduction because my sister would like that movie for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I couldn't watch that movie now because of my childhood fear.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some things are like that. Hey.
Yeah. It's dumb, but I really liked that top 5, Corbin.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. I can't promise you or even jokingly say I will watch Hell House LCC because I still don't like.
But you know what? That's the thing though. You might watch this and you might not be scared at all. If
That's true.
LLC, you might be like, the production values are shit, because they are.
Yeah.
Because it's a found footage film, and there's not like special effects or anything.
Right.
Right? Like it's someone, you might not find it scary at all. Who knows?
People say that.
10 spook-ups.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm not even going to say I'm going to, but if I do, I will let you know.
Yeah.
Talk
to me of this Fallout show.
Yeah, so Fallout came out.
Yeah.
Based off the Bethesda game series.
Can you tell me what the game series is about without kind of spoiling the show?
I absolutely can.
Okay.
So have you ever played a Fallout game before?
I've never played a Fallout game.
Okay. Bethesda.
Yeah.
Who made Skyrim.
Yeah.
And Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Or sorry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, then 4 was, Oblivion. Okay, yeah, I'm right. So they made the last few Elder Scrolls games, big, open RPG, run around, do whatever you want, be whatever you want.
Yeah.
Very unobtrusive kind of games. Very well liked. They took over the Fallout series starting with 3, I believe, and then made the last few. So basically, like Skyrim, they're wide open, kind of RPG-ish games. You can do what you want, kind of be who you want, class, that kind of thing.
Means I'll never play them.
Except it is in a post-apocalyptic world. So in the Fallout series, the very basics is, in the 30s, 20s, and 30s, when they still used, before they kind of invented the circuit, they still used tubes to power things, right? Like the old tube powered radios or those kind of things. But then they invented a circuit,
Mm-hmm.
and then we created computers. So in the Fallout world, they never invented the circuit, and the tube invention steam just kind of continued on. So as you get into the 50s and late 50s, it's very it's the same, but it's a little different technology-wise, right? It's still focused on weird radioactive power and different kind of how vehicles and stuff. Like they have robots that kind of help.
How can you have a robot if there's no...
Because they're all like atomic-powered mechanical thing instead of... Like, think of like robots from like 1950s movies.
Okay.
Kind of the theme about it.
Okay.
Very white picket
What
fences.
was the apocalyptic event? Is this a spoiler if I ask this question?
Well...
Or does this happen in the show and I witness it?
Yeah, yes and no. Basically, I won't spoil it to you. Basically, it's always very... kind of obtuse and obfuscated to what actually happened. But there was a war between the capitalist, righteous people of America
Mm-hmm.
and the Reds, which is more China, and Russia, and them kind of the communists, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it led into the 50s. And then in the late, I think they got up to the 60s, 70s, the bombs all fell.
Okay.
All the nukes went off. Everyone got fucked.
Yeah.
So there is a company in the Fallout games called Vault Tech.
Okay.
And Vault Tech made a bunch of vaults.
Oh, okay.
And these vaults go underground, and people could pay to go into them. Like they're just giant, self-sustaining, almost cities built underground,
Mm-hmm.
run by Vault Tech. So in most of the games, you're a vault dweller. You born and raised in the vault because the games, everything takes place about 220 years after the bombs fell. Just like that.
Yeah, that was my microphone.
So bombs fall, 220 years go by, no one ever leaves the vaults. They're always kind of secured and locked, and then inevitably your character, oh, I'm going to leave the vault because this happens or this happens. Now I'm outside, and you deal with the wasteland and everything.
Yeah.
So that's the Fallout, what happens.
Okay.
Each game is kind of its own self-contained story. They happen in their own vaults or different parts across America. Fallout 3 was in like Washington. Fallout 4 was in the Commonwealth. There's Fallout New Vegas, which you would like. So that's New Vegas, which you can partake in. And then they're all kind of how they're wastelands. It's very heavily relied on dark humor.
Okay.
It's a very dark humor game because it's a very violent world. But again, they keep that kind of 1950s-esque optimism and then cover it in violence and gore and cannibalism and death.
Oh, and cannibalism.
Oh yeah, everyone's a cannibal. So they kind of they kind of lead it in that way.
Is that a spoiler that everyone's a cannibal?
No.
Sure?
No. Oh yeah,
Do I find out pretty early in the
it's
in the
very
show?
it's very common
Okay.
in wastelands. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's kind of it's a lot of that's played off humorous while being very violent.
Okay.
So that'll kind of get them to a point. So that's been the Fallout series for
Okay.
video games.
Okay.
And you play your hero and you blah blah blah, do your stuff.
Yeah.
So Fallout series comes out,
The TV series.
the TV series
Okay.
on Amazon.
Yeah.
Now historically,
Amazon is where you can get Hell House LLC, by the way. Go ahead.
oh, okay, good to know.
Yep.
I won't watch it. Historically, the world has had a hard time adapting video games
Yeah.
to the screen,
Yeah.
whether it's television or movies.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Memeably bad
Yeah.
because a lot of
Resident Evil movies are terrible.
So I kind of wanted to get into that with you today. I
Okay.
wanted to get into that process.
I'm in.
Why are some good? Why are some shit? Which ones do we like? Which ones do we not like?
Yeah.
And at the end of it, why did, because Fallout did it very well.
Oh, okay, good.
And we can kind of talk about the whys and nots, but just because it came out really recently, and I don't think Amazon expected it to do well because they released all 8 episodes at once, which Amazon usually doesn't do. They usually do the week, but Amazon just said, here's the whole fucking show, go for it. And it's the second most watched Amazon show ever.
Behind probably The Boys.
Behind Lord of the Rings,
Lord of the Rings.
which is garbage.
You didn't like it, hey?
Garbage television.
Wow, because I was into it.
Fucking terrible.
Wow, I was totally into that.
Hated it.
Well, that's, I guess, for another day.
Another day, we'll get into that one.
Yeah, okay.
About adapting. Well, we can talk about adapting books too, I guess. So yeah, let's get the ones out in the open. Like, what are the ones that come to mind when you think about video game adaptations to either movies or TVs? Good or bad?
The Resident Evil series, because I was very excited for them, because I'm a lover of Resident Evil games.
Mm-hmm.
These are the most unscary, ridiculous movies I've ever watched in my life. No, they suck, and they all star the same horrible actress who can't act her way out of a paper bag.
But her husband does direct all of them.
And her husband directs all of them.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm not saying it's connected.
it's comically bad.
I'm not saying that's
Yeah, Resident Evil. The
Mila
first one,
Jovovich. Is that just...
Mila Jovovich. The first one is the best one of them all, which is usually the case.
Yeah, I do. I did enjoy the first one for what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't the story we wanted, but it was the story we got.
Yeah.
So, because they didn't lean into the creepy mansion.
Not at all.
They went right to the underground.
You're out of it
layer.
so fast.
Yeah.
And deep down in the labs, it didn't matter.
I know it didn't hit for me.
No.
But it was good for what it was. But everything after that was just schlock.
Really, really bad.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to go comically bad, like really bad, go back to the 90s where they tried to do a Super Mario Bros. Movie, where they tried to do a Double Dragon movie.
Yeah.
Those were
I got both of those. What about Mortal Kombat's in the 90s?
So here's the thing. Mortal Kombat was different for a couple reasons. One, the soundtrack was banging.
It is good.
Okay. So, and that was a good, my basketball team in high school used to warm up to that song. Yeah. That's how we came out. It was like our entrance music. But you look at it now, it's very bad. But in the moment, it was really fun. But now it's like, oh my God, how did we ever think that? I think it was just our mentality was.
Yeah.
But it was,
and younger, I guess. Right?
And younger. But but we were younger for the other two that I mentioned. And yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, no, it was bad. Let me. I want to keep guessing.
Yeah, keep throwing things out there.
Well, The Last of Us, which people have enjoyed, it seems. I haven't finished.
The television show Last of Us.
Yeah, I haven't finished that one.
Well, I would hope you like it. I mean, I was starring in it, so I would hope you enjoy it.
I missed you in that. Were you?
Oh.
Where were you in that? In the first episode, right?
I mean, I shouldn't have to explain where it was.
You should.
Is that stunning?
Were you in it like a blink of an eye?
So fast.
You and your wife were both in it.
Yeah, she got a much better time in part and much cooler experience.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say. I mean, I had a lot of fun, but yeah, she had a really good one. I think episode 2 or 3.
She was in episode 2 or 3.
Yeah.
How would you, out of 10, rank your acting in The Last of Us, and then rank your wife's acting? in The
Oh,
Last
yeah.
of Us?
This is not going to be a problem at all for me.
Yeah.
I you know what, I like anything I do, Corbin. When I'm acting, I really try and pull out the core of the character that
What's my motivation?
yeah, like really taking. What do I need to run to the left
Or to the-
because the monsters are going to get me, or am I going to run a straight through kind of person?
Yeah.
You know, where are those monsters going to take me?
Yeah.
Is how I ask.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just ran really fast. My wife, she got to do the proper makeup, and she was one of the zombies, so she got to do like proper
Oh,
preparations and
will you actually show me where? Will you show me after this?
sure, yeah.
I would like to see this.
Yeah. I got to do stuff really close with Pedro.
Okay.
So I got like to hang out with him for like 5 days.
Did you smell him?
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
You look like a smeller.
Well, and he's like right in the middle, like the pinnacle of Mando,
yeah.
like right in season 1 of Mando being
Oh,
good.
yeah. Where? Okay, wait a minute. I don't remember when
No.
Mando was good. But
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, well, as a Star Wars fan, so I
I'm a Star Wars fan.
know, but but it is a good as now a finished product. You know, I'll take my part out of it because I don't want to be biased here because they're just really good. But
Yeah.
the as a show, great show.
You know what? And you haven't played the game, have you?
I played both games.
Okay. Yeah. So I've played the first, love the first, and I've been not stuck. I just haven't picked it up since I've got to an early part of the second game where they go to an empty supermarket.
Yep.
And I just haven't. I've played up until that part about 3 times.
Okay.
And I just keep forgetting to finish it. So I know the general story beats of the first season. I imagine.
The whole show is the first. Yeah, the first season is the first game.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it eventually. I just haven't
Yeah.
gotten to it. Okay. What else can we figure out here?
I got sorry. So
How many left on the list that I
got
haven't
so
guessed?
many,
Really?
so many,
Okay. Oh, this is going to be hard.
and good or bad. I got lots either way.
Yeah, good or bad. Video game movies. Uncharted, which was me.
I didn't put it Uncharted on here because I didn't like it.
Yeah, Uncharted.
Didn't even make my list of knots.
Did you play? Just put knots or goods on this list?
Both. Yeah.
Both goods and knots. Video game movies or TV series.
Yeah, just that adaptation.
Adaptations.
Yeah.
Adaptations.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank.
Let me throw some out for you. So for bad ones,
Yeah.
I got House of the Dead, 2003.
House. What? Sorry.
House of the Dead, 2003.
What was that? A movie?
It is a movie. Yeah.
Never seen it.
There's Alone in the Dark,
Alone in the Dark.
2005.
Bad, you know.
Fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Blood Rain, 2005. Garbage.
Don't remember that movie.
Silent Hill movies, all of them have been terrible.
Yeah.
The Prince of Persia movie with
Oh yeah, that
Buddy,
Prince of Persia movie.
just the whitest people playing all the Persians. Terrible movie.
Jake Gyllenhaal is the best Persian.
Yeah. I want my Persian to be a white sheep farmer. That's my
And they're like,
Persian.
well, it's not really whitewashing, but whatever.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
I mean, be honest with you. Now, this might get us in trouble. Like, do we care about the whitewashing? Like, is it a big deal? Do we care? Because the source material wasn't really based on real Persians.
Honestly, it depends for me on what the source material and the story they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
Because having a white dude, the Prince of Persia from my entire life growing up is a Persian dude who's a prince.
Yeah.
In like the 1500s.
Okay.
Right. And now I got white Jake Gyllenhaal running around.
Gyllenhaal.
It's just it takes me out of the immersion.
There was
So as long as it's not immersion breaking differences. But
Wow.
hello?
I don't know what that was.
Yeah. Okay. Hi.
There was this movie. What the hell?
If all of your technology is abandoning you right now.
There was this movie in the 70s, late 70s, called Murder by Death. And it was it's like a murder mystery, but a comedy murder mystery.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know, you might be too young for this, but Peter Sellers was a pretty famous actor in the 70s.
Big
And
Panther.
Peter Sellers was in this movie playing an Asian guy.
Okay, I think I've seen pictures of it.
So this is like over the top.
Yeah.
So when it's played comically, like for comedy,
Yeah.
I'm completely cool with it.
I am too.
Is that
Yeah.
And am I okay to say that?
I mean, if you find it funny, I mean, some people might be upset, but what?
It was funny because it was a white guy playing an Asian guy. It wouldn't have been funny if it was an Asian guy playing an Asian guy.
Robert Downey, Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, Robert Downey.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
and they're doing it to be funny. Well, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Prince of Persia.
Okay, I feel you. Okay.
Prince of Persia. What else? Bad. Monster Hunter. Your two favorite people with Mila and her husband. Doing Monster Hunter movie. This was pretty recently, like 20.
Some of them I'm going to not know because I'm like, this is going to be trash, and I'm not going to pay attention.
So yeah, Mila and her husband. He directed this one.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah. Doom. I didn't like the one with Rock.
Doom. I forgot about that one.
Double Dragon sucks. The Halo TV show is garbage.
Was it bad?
So bad.
Okay, I'll take it off the list because I was going to watch it.
No, don't.
Why is it bad?
Again, and one of the reasons I get into here is that they're not following the source material how it's laid out. Like you can very easily tell when people take the median of video games, because the median of video games is very specific, right? It's you are entrenched into what's happening because you're playing that character, whether it's its own narrative like you're playing Joel and Ellie in The Last of Us, or you're playing The Fallout where you're your own RPG character. It's still you running through it. So you are going to have a much stronger tie naturally to that world, that story, and everything that comes around it, especially stuff like Halo. People have been playing John in Halo, or Master Chief, for years and years, right? And certain things in that world have been established for 20 years, and if the first thing the show does is spit in the face of that 20 years, it's over.
Can you spoil what the spit in the face part was of the Halo one? Just because I'm not going to watch it now.
He talks too much. He takes his mask off. He starts humping everybody that walks around.
Yeah,
like he doesn't do what that character has done for 20 years, or like it's a completely different essence of writing, which I think is a big problem. Is the writing shard. Halo sucked. Rampage didn't like that either. That was a crash grab. A lot of rock.
Going back to Resident, a lot of rock. Going back to Resident Evil, they made a Resident Evil movie recently, like 2019, 2020, 2021.
The TV show on Netflix or a movie?
No, I didn't watch. I watched a little bit of the TV show on Netflix, and then I didn't finish it.
So sorry, and to go back to that one example.
Yeah.
So they made Wesker, the black guy, by the late Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
Who played it.
Yeah,
didn't care. Didn't care because it fit that story.
That doesn't matter.
It didn't matter. It fit that story. I know some people were like,
I don't mind if they gender bend or anything like that stuff.
It worked. It fit to what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it just really depends on what they're putting out.
But they the latest Resident Evil movie, they're like, man, it was done by new people, no Mila Jovovich, and you could tell they're like, man, okay, the hardcore fans want the original story.
Yeah.
And so what they tried to do is cram 2 video games into a 90-minute movie. And it was just like they just picked pieces. Okay, how about this? How about this? How about this? How about this? And they just threw it all together.
Highlights of 2 games.
And somehow they made a worse Resident Evil movie
because you can't
all
do that
the
either.
Other ones.
Yeah. You can't and that's the problem I think with remakes is you can't retell the story, because I have played Resi 1 and 2 100 times.
Yeah.
I can tell you where the secret trap is. I can tell you where the coin is on this level of the mansion. I can tell you what window the dog's going to jump through, even on the remake. But so you can't then just pick the best pits and put them in together because it's already been done and better.
Yeah.
And now you're just, it is tough. I'm not saying it's easy to make these, but you're right.
What's the number one? Because you have these ranked?
Nope. No, I just made a list.
What else is on your good ones?
On my good ones, I put Fallout on there. I got The Last of Us. I got Detective Pikachu.
Actually, it was a good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu, good movie.
That was actually a smart movie.
Yeah.
Too.
The Werewolves Within.
Werewolves Within was a comic book or a video game movie?
Yeah.
Hold on. We're talking about
hold
on. Werewolves Within. We're talking about the with Sam Richardson.
Yeah.
And hold on. I love her. I love her. I have a crush on her. I have a crush on my wife, but I have a crush on this actress too.
Yeah.
What's her name? Volts. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
Check. We can find it.
It's a weird name.
Yeah, Werewolves Within was a Ubisoft ripoff gun. Margaret Bocchio.
No.
Natalie Metzger.
No, it's like Volshab.
Volshab.
Yeah, Werewolves.
The 2021 movie. Werewolves Within.
Yeah, she's the bad guy. She's the werewolf.
Oh, Milana Van Trub.
Yes, Milana Van Trub.
Van Trub.
Yes, she's fun because she was. I like her because she did a bunch of AT&T cellular commercials, and she always made me laugh.
Oh,
She's a comedian. That's why
Yeah.
she was funny.
but it's a good movie.
It was a good movie.
It's a
I
fun
enjoyed
movie,
that movie. I didn't know that was based on a video game.
Yeah.
Really?
Dungeons and Dragons, this new recent one.
You know what? Is that based on a video game or a board game?
Well,
Are you bending the rules here?
not really, because I mean, there's 100 Dungeons and Dragons games.
Either way,
They're
we
opinions,
agree it was a good movie.
The Super Mario one, Bros, that just came out.
That was a good one.
Good movie.
That was a fun one.
Sonic the Hedgehog movies that just came out.
Didn't like them.
Oh, okay.
I'm out.
See, I didn't.
But they were like, okay, as the kids would say,
Yeah.
they were mid.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Mid.
that they're like
Middling.
they're okay.
Arcane on Netflix.
I was told to watch this show, but then I didn't.
Yeah. So that's a League of Legends
Yeah,
video
because
game.
I didn't know what League of Legends was. And I'm like,
Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
yeah.
I don't like MOBAs. I never play them, but
What's a MOBA again?
so it's a mobile. So basically, you have your little character heroes that do certain things, like your tabletop games. It's actually it is pretty close to what your tabletop is
Okay.
at a game format. So you might like it more than I do, but you kind of have your a few team of heroes or one or two, and you share a map with another player,
Okay.
and your two main heroes battle out and
Like a
open
skirmish
the map,
game.
fog of war, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. But anyway, Netflix Arcane, really good movie, really good show.
You've
actually.
done a deep dive. I'm pretty proud of you on this. This is awesome.
Yeah, well, it's important.
What else?
'Cause,
What else do we got?
Well, so why are some of these succeeding and some of them are failing? Like why do some games just never work on the big screen? Why
I'll tell you the real reason.
why is that?
I'll tell you the real reason.
Tell me why.
Okay, this is the real reason that nobody will think the reason is because movie studios and TV studios pay good dollars for the intellectual property that they're doing, and then I bet you there's not bad ideas coming out of the original hired writers,
Mhm.
and they're like, no, that's not this. That's not enough car crashes. That's not enough this. Make this. I bet you they're getting producer notes, and it's changing the quality of the shows to be more broad. Because Fallout, for instance, maybe it's the highest thing on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon.
But it might not be if it doesn't appeal to the broadest. They make all media right now to appeal to the most amount of people possible.
Because to get the biggest money return.
to get the biggest money return.
Yeah.
And so I think that ruins the creativity.
And I think you're right. I think one of the first things I wrote down
Mumbling
here
a lot
is,
there.
is
Sorry.
It's okay. I got your point.
Thanks, buddy.
Is I put who's behind the camera is what I think makes a big difference. If there's directions coming from all over the place, like exactly like you just said,
Yeah.
from production and all this nonsense saying, no, we need to do this demographic, we need to do this, we need to do this, all in the interest of just hitting that number to get dollars, then yeah, it's all of that nonsense is shown on screen when you watch it. The Witcher TV show, for example.
Okay.
Shitty, because it had multiple directors, writers, and there was never an overarching plan or direction for the show. It was just like, oh, we're going to get to do a season of this show. Let's pull in people and writers who've never even read a book about the Witcher series or played a game.
I didn't play the game, but I watched the first season.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think everyone could agree. They were like, huh?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like this, okay. At the end, it kind of, okay, there's a timeline here that kind of makes sense, but it felt very thrown together.
It was that
and
that
then
was
the stuff that they had there was incredibly boring. Yeah.
because they like they've gone on records as the writers never even reading the source material,
Okay.
and they're just putting together what they wanted. And Henry Cavill, who is a huge Witcher fan,
Okay.
I mean that's why he's no longer on the show, because he finally just came to the point. He's like, you fucking idiots aren't doing this right. This is not how this character would do it. This is not this story. And they got mad at him, like, well, we're the writers, so we're doing whatever we want. And then he's no longer there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that's why now it's the shittier Hemsworth is now the new Witcher.
Liam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Replaced him. So I think you're right. In the big picture version, there's too many fingers in the pot. There's not one clear vision of going forward through it. And I mean, you could say that for most movies, honestly, but that seems to be a big point of it. What game series or single game would you want to see adapted that has not been adapted yet?
Two. One's more than the other, though. So God of War,
Which
which I think if done hyper realistically with
the
practical
2005s or the 2017s?
all of them.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, no. I think Greek mythology is way more interesting
Okay.
than Norse mythology. So I would say the Greek ones, the first three.
Okay.
And I would say if they did it hyper realistic with practical effects,
Mhm.
that would interest me a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Second one is Metal Gear. If they did Metal Gear for real with an awesome Solid Snake,
Yeah.
and they absolutely crushed it's a weird ass story.
Yeah.
It's a weird story with weird characters, and what the cool thing about Metal Gear was you're playing this hyper realistic, because it was a hyper realistic situational game where you're like, okay, tactical espionage action is what it stands for, but at the same time, is this character a vampire? What is going on?
Is this guy an actual ghost?
This guy's reading my mind.
Yeah.
What's happening here? And so they got these really fantastical elements to this super serious story that takes it seriously 100% of the time, even though it has fantastical
it's
elements
always
to it.
played super serious.
Yeah, and so I would love a really cool Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I like that one.
Yeah,
I wrote down three. I wrote down Vampire the Masquerade.
I've never heard of that one.
So that's again started as a tabletop RPG, but then kind of made its way to other mediums. The main game, there's been money now, but the main game is called Vampire the Masquerade. It was an RPG replay, and it's just really, really nice, meaty canon to everything, where there's vampires are real. They've always been real. There's cabals of vampires that's run in secrets, and they kind of control things from the background. And the masquerade is the point where they're never going to show themselves to humans, because they did, the humans would rise up and kill them all. So the masquerade is that it has to be protected. And so vampires are kind of the pinnacle, but there's werewolves, there's other monstrosities, that kind of thing. And
are you sure this isn't just a bad episode of True Blood?
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, all of them except the first season was bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just a really nice, meaty story behind it. Fun game. Came out like in 2005-ish, but really, really good background writing.
What are we? We're werewolves, not scarewolves. No, swearwolves. Swearwolves.
We're werewolves, guys, not swearwolves.
We're werewolves, not swearwolves.
I would be interested in a Destiny adaptation.
What's that about? I don't know what that's about either.
Yeah, just future space people killing future space monsters with guns and space magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool story.
Action show?
It would be an action show. And then Time Splitters, Perfect Dark, any of those from the kind of N64 days.
Yeah.
They'd be a lot of fun to watch, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's what I got. A good example, what I like about the Fallout show. Without
Dead
spoilers.
Space too. Dead Space would be.
Dead Space would be a good. Dead Space would be a good movie.
Yeah, a good movie.
Like an all-in-one.
You can't make that
like a Tim Roth taking the reins on a Dead Space movie.
Tim Roth.
Eli Roth. Oh
no, Eli Roth never.
Never Eli Roth.
Look at me. Never Eli Roth.
Who would you have direct a Dead Space movie?
He has just a collection of shit as a resume.
He's like the Zack Snyder of horror movies.
I don't get offended at many things. I'm offended that two of his movies exist.
But you're offended. You don't get offended by anything.
I don't get offended by anything. I was offended that the Hostel movies existed. I thought they were bad for society.
I will never stand a Hostel because of those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were bad for society. Which is so weird for me to say because I don't give a fuck.
What about Sam Raimi?
No, I don't want Sam Raimi to do it. You know what?
Ooh, Cronenberg? Because it's very visceral, right? It's very body dysmorphia, body horror.
Yeah,
Cronenberg could do that.
I don't think it matters right off the top of my head who did it. Just if you, like, it'd have to be super dark.
Yeah.
And it have to be brooding. It'd have to be slow. It'd have to be a slow burn.
Yeah.
If they did it dark, slow, and loud. And like quiet, but incredibly loud at the same time. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like that a lot. I don't know who would do it properly, but, I mean, if anybody can do it, I would say Denis Villeneuve, but he would never do that.
He would never do it. Mary Harron could do that.
Mary Harron has done like one movie in the last 30 years.
It was good. It's that kind of weird, sudden urge of violence. American Psycho, by the way.
American Psycho.
Yeah. I liked, one of the things I like with the Fallout Show, or a few things I like with the Fallout Show, is that it did have multiple episodic directors, but it had a single showrunner. who's Jonathan Nolan,
Oh, okay.
brother to
Okay. Yeah.
and Geneva Robertson Dorrit,
Dorat?
as the lead writer. So yeah, Jonathan, who's obviously brothers to Nolan.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jonathan Nolan's worked on the. I mean,
What was the latest?
he wrote on all of his movies on his brother.
What was the latest thing he did before this?
Westworld.
Yes, Westworld. That's
He did
right.
Westworld.
Yeah.
Which season 1 of Westworld, amazing. All the other ones, hot garbage.
If I watch season 1, can I stop watching?
Yes,
And is it a complete story?
yes, it is good enough.
Is it good enough?
Yeah, just watch season 1 and be done.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
So again, but he had basically unlimited control. I think he had his name to throw around a little bit.
Actually, can we just really quickly spoil it? Will it spoil me if you tell me who Ed Harris's character was in that show? Will it spoil the whole thing? Or do I find out in season 2 or 3?
No, that main character arc is done in season 1.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
I'll watch
it is good to watch.
I've always
I think
thought
you'll
about
like
it, and I just keep forgetting to watch it. I've watched like 2 episodes.
No, it'll be good. I think a decent team, but also Todd Howard, who is the boss at Bethesda, who makes the games.
Yep.
He had a lot. He's pretty controlling. He had a lot of fingers in this too.
Good.
But it's because it's his baby, right? So
Yeah, good.
that we're fine with. You got to nail the feel of a game, but that's difficult, right? You have to be able to nail that feel of the world you're putting it in. And again, that goes back to that medium of video games, right? You live in that world for hundreds of
tough
hours.
because there's so much downtime in between story beats.
So much.
So it's kind of like how do you recreate that? That's tough.
Yeah, especially for like a short television movie, because people can have 500-600 hours in a single Fallout game.
But I'm going to say that again out loud. 500 to 600 hours in a single game?
Yeah,
Okay, bang for your buck for one,
totally.
but insanity. That's insanity.
It is.
I need an ending that comes
Yeah,
faster.
there is one, but it's you can just keep going forever in a lot of them because it's and how do you recreate that in a short form media? And a lot of people fall into the trap nowadays, and I notice this with writing with a lot of shows nowadays. With that, it's just over explanation of everything in TVs and movies, like the juxtapositions and the voiceovers. So instead of letting a scene tell a story, like a show a story, they go out of the way to just tell the audience every little single story beat going forward, walking you through it, which is super annoying to me. I hate it. Is it because you notice it? Like you notice it, whether or not you're actively noticing it, you walk away saying, "Oh, I watched something that was really cool," or "I was just told something."
Yeah.
Right. So a good example of that is like character development. People always, what's the last True Detective that just came out with Jodie Foster?
Yeah, Night Country, a really good one.
No, terrible show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let's.
And I love Jodie
Hold on.
Foster.
Let's put my gloves on.
Jodie Foster's fucking awesome.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
that whole show
Yeah.
was one of the worst written pieces of garbage I've seen in a long time.
Why did I like it so much then?
Because it's just dark, and
Tell me. You know what? I'm gonna
Jodie Foster can only carry so much there.
tell me why I hated it. Go.
Because there's nothing of what they set up of consequence into that story had any payoff. They've left 19 questions answered. The good guys were bullied into victimizing themselves to the bad guys at the end of the show. So no good person wins. Yeah. I'll give you an example. So think of the episodes. How many times is Jodie Foster and I don't remember the actor's name who played the big lady, the big cop lady.
Yep.
How many times are they just sitting in a room,
just being cunts to each other?
But being cunts by telling themselves, "Oh yeah, well, when you were this 2 years ago, you did this and this."
Yeah, you know what?
Oh yeah, well, when you were that mayor, you were this and this and this and this
Upon
and
reflection,
this and this.
these two characters were not fun.
No, you don't like
Jodie
them.
actually, and Jodie Foster. After a while, I'm like, is she like trying to act poorly?
I don't know if she was actually drunk on that set or not. Like, I really like Jodie Foster. Like I was excited to come back to this series because of Jodie Foster.
Yeah,
and I think she's actually drunk on this show.
She's trying to like something didn't sit right. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you for talking some sense. To me.
So let me give you an example of good character development.
Okay, go.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
The movie?
The first movie.
Okay, I'm listening.
Right. Not the best movie in the world.
No.
However, one of the first times you see Jack Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
The first time ever on cinema.
He's on the boat.
He is on a boat. He is up on the mast with the sunset behind him, just grinning ear to ear, and the music is flourishing. And then they pan out, and the boat is basically sunk, and he is just standing on this tiny little fucking rickety boat that is now going underwater, and he's standing on the mast as it crashes into the dock, and he just steps off and starts walking.
Which, if I just, as a side note, is physically impossible. But go ahead.
Right. Yeah. It is. But that alone, nothing is said.
Yeah. It kind of gives you an idea
You
of the character.
you know nothing about this person, and in that,
and even on the whole dock scene right after that,
he just starts walking through the 20 seconds. He doesn't even give a name at that point, right? Because he says, "What's your name?" He says, "Smith," right? Yeah. He doesn't even give a name. So that 20 seconds of film gives you more character development than the entire run of Night Detective season 4.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
That's kind of the difference in
That's fair.
So that you kind of see it's people do it. It's
I honestly, I'm glad it was only 6 episodes, because if it would have went longer, I think I would have gotten extremely tired of Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
And her counterpart too.
I liked her character because it was Jodie Foster, and the more I watched the show, I was like, I don't like this character.
Well,
like, there's nothing redeeming about this person.
Here's the other thing. When no one in the show likes that character, it's hard for the viewer to get behind.
Everyone else in the show is telling you she's an asshole.
Yeah, she's a...
And then you get through these, and you're like, yeah, she's an... Like, they didn't redeem her at all.
No, they didn't.
And they just let her be an asshole, and she plays it as an asshole because it's Jodie Foster. But...
And then she lies at the end again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's an asshole about it.
Yeah.
Like, she's just... There's nothing redeeming about this woman through the whole thing.
Hey, we have a lot of spirited conversation on this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you have completely turned to me 180%.
Welcome. You know what else pissed me off?
Go.
They kept talking about this Mother of Darkness or Lady Darkness, whatever it is. And it just happens because the gaggle of women are just... Spoilers. The gaggle of women are just killing these people.
Yeah.
But it just happened, right? This gaggle of women went and killed these people and they died.
Yeah.
Right? So then why is this German dude who lost his eyes 20 years ago to the Night Mother and knows about these secret tunnels because he was there 20 years ago and the darkness? So what the hell is that? Because that has nothing to do with what happened in this show.
You know what? You know what helped this show?
What?
Is that it was a weekly show.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this would have dropped all 6 episodes at once,
tanked.
People would have been like, "What the fuck?
What
is this?
the fuck is this?" Because you see that shit.
I'm recognizing now that you're 100% right. Like
why the apples? Why are the oranges? They kept bringing up oranges.
Yeah.
Right? Oranges floating around and falling to the...
Yeah, what was that about?
Not once brought up again.
You know what? Did you
never
have
answered
a fucking notepad when you watched this show? What did you do?
I did, because I just start seeing it, and and the problem is the more you pay attention to shitty writing,
and
I think it's because I lean more into writing now. You start to see the problem child, and it's just like Hollywood is such a shit show for writing nowadays. But you just think all these like, oh, and there's oranges on the ice, and someone else is like, oh man, that's cool, and then one could just roll out, but we don't tell them where it comes from. Like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, and then they just keep writing like, oh shit, we need to come up with a story ending, and there's just like another orange 9 things they brought up that they never talk about.
Yeah,
right. Where did the tongue come from?
The tongue came from...
How did it get there?
How did the tongue get there?
Never answered.
You know what? God damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so mad right now.
I know. Yeah, so you don't waste your time. Just watch True Detective season 1 again and skip all the rest.
Yeah.
I think you need to have a strong team behind the camera with a singular vision for a singular story. It doesn't have to repeat step for step of the story that you're telling off a video game. But at the end of the day, that solid writing, as long as it keeps that world that's been built without rewriting the fundamentals of that world, you're fine. And always use practical effects.
Always.
Because I'm with you. Always use practical effects.
Always. Everything that uses practical effects is better than things that don't.
Yes.
Look at every Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah. So good.
And it's not even close.
No.
I love practical effects.
Or even Devenu, your boy.
Yeah.
He films so much as practical as he can and just little bit CGIs when he has to.
I watched actually all the behind the scenes footage on Dune, and you actually don't realize how much special effects there are. There still is a lot.
Well, yeah,
that goes into Hollywood. But they built all of those sets.
They still build it, yeah.
Every one of those sets they built, and we're talking crazy good. The worm pool, the 2 pools of water, the one with water and the one with sand.
Yeah.
practical, whole set, practical. The Water of Life set with the whole. First off, when she takes the Water of Life, and then when they have all the water, and he's like, "We never drink this water if we're thirsty." You know, that all practical sets. It's insanity. And the throne room or whatever that was at the very end, where Fade Rautha and Paul Atreides fight.
Yeah,
all practical. That whole set.
It makes a difference.
It's insane how good it was.
Makes a difference practically. Never stop doing practical effects.
Yeah, please.
That's a lot of what I had. For getting into it.
All right. What else do I want to talk about? I got some stuff here. Hold on.
Hey, you got stuff. Let's talk about
So, this is probably one of the least funny things that I don't know. Okay. Okay, couple things.
Okay.
This one bugs me.
Okay.
I was at my son's soccer game the other day. And there's a mother of one of the other kids on my team, my son's team. So mother of another person that's on my son's team.
Okay, soccer.
And she's up in the stands, and she's sitting with her husband. And the game lasts an hour and a half. And I'm not lying, and I'm not exaggerating, not even a little bit when I say what she's doing here.
Okay.
She knows all the names of the players on the team. And so let's say it was Nathan, well, I'll just make up names. Every 10 seconds, maybe even less,
Okay.
She goes, "Good job, Nathan. Good job, Cooper. Good job, Jody. Good job, Tanner. Good job." For an hour and a half. Not once did she say what they were doing good. Like, it was never like, "Hey, good job kicking that ball." Not even something generic. Just, "Good job, Parker. Good job, Parker."
And you're just sitting three seats down, just
losing in front of him.
Your mind.
So about 30 minutes into the game, I turn around and I look at the husband who's sitting next to her because I'm like, I couldn't fathom how he's standing by. I'm like, I'm looking, I make eye contact with him, and I'm like, okay, so what I'm doing to the show people at home, I'm opening my eyes wider and putting my hands up in what the fuck.
As if, what the fuck are you doing?
Like, dude, what the fuck? And he just looks at me and he just shakes his head. Like, he's
like, "You have no fucking idea what I go through.
You have no idea.
You have no idea what this is."
1.5 hours I went through this. Okay. Moral of the story is, first off, I can't believe, not even describing one thing they could, like, "Hey, nice shot on goal," or, "Hey, good pass there." No. "Good job, Tanner. Good job, Corbyn. Good job, Cooper."
Did it stay the same cadence? And
it was high pitched.
Yeah.
And it was soft high pitched. She wasn't even saying it loud enough for any of them to fucking hear.
She's
just on the benches in the stand.
Oh.
It wasn't even loud enough for the people it was intended.
Like, it didn't change. Like, "Oh, good job, Corbyn. Oh, great job, Tanner."
No. All in same inflection. It was like Office Space. "Corporate accounts, Mina speaking. Just a moment. Corporate accounts, Mina speaking. Just a moment."
Was she a robot? Like, was it just he's like, "Man, don't fucking out my robot."
So, moral of the story, and this,
don't have kids.
No. I bought earplugs. I went online and I'm like, okay, I want earplugs that are good but are multi-purpose. I don't want to hear this woman ever again in my life. Was the goal.
Yeah.
Like straight up goal.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear this woman ever again in my life. And I still want to use the earplugs at concerts, if that makes sense.
Concerts are
I want to hear the concert.
Yeah.
Drown it out. So I went online. I bought some, not super expensive, but they were pricey earplugs. And they're made for they're called loops. If you ever look up Loops earplugs. And I
brought to you by Loops.
Brought to you by Loops. Radical Apathy Podcast.
Not.
Anyway, so yeah, this lady made me buy earplugs.
Did your wife ask you why you're buying earplugs?
I bought a pair for her out of courtesy, so she never had to hear this.
Look at you being a good husband.
Yeah.
Buying Loops.
Oh
God, look at those things.
Yeah. You see?
They look like beer bottle stoppers.
Yeah, they don't fuck around. And I'm like, I needed them to be this lady proof.
Your life, your volume.
You know what I wanted to say to her? Eat shit and live, lady.
Eat shit and live.
Eat shit and live, lady. Hey, should comedians believe in God?
Should they?
Yeah. And here's my thing. a lot of most comedians are left leaning.
Sure.
I find. I think artists in general are left leaning.
Okay.
And I think to be a comedian and to do your job really, really well,
Yeah.
you can't believe in God.
I can't think of a comedian
Okay.
that I really enjoy watching whom has talked about believing in God.
It's rare.
Yeah, the ones who talk about it. So you know what? But you know what? Steve Harvey,
Does he believe in God?
he does. He's a very religious gentleman.
Okay.
He's funny.
I was going to ask you, have you ever laughed at a Steve Harvey joke?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I have. The reason I'm bringing this up is because we were going to have a guest on the show who was a stand-up comedian, but they no longer do that profession anymore. And so I'm like, I won't get to ask this question. And I really wanted to ask this question. I wanted to ask the comedian, do you believe in God? And how does that affect your show and your material?
They may still have an opinion or know someone who was in that industry that might.
Maybe. I'd like to know what the count is. What's the ratio?
I mean, there has to be. I don't remember the names, and they're local, so I don't know if I want to out them or not. But I went to a very large Christmas party.
Okay.
It wasn't regards to anything that I did. I just happened to be invited, and it was basically the city management of this city's Christmas party.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like a third string invitation, friend of a friend kind of a thing.
Okay.
And they rented out the entire one of the big hockey arenas here in town.
Okay.
And they put the wood on the ground, on the ice floor,
On the ice floor.
Yeah. And there's like the mayors, all the council people were there.
Okay.
Like all the city people.
Yep.
Were there at this thing. So they as entertainment they had picked up 2 local comedians.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the problem with maybe today's day and age is that all they did was just maybe look locally, and there is one lady who is of a very specific religion down here.
Okay.
And
in the crowd or on the stage?
No, on the comedian when they whichever group hired these comedians to come do this Christmas party.
Okay.
Nice blonde lady, very, hey, how are you? And family, and lives close by in a southern town from us.
Yeah.
And very likable.
Yeah.
And that's how they introduced her. And they come on and say, hey, okay, city. So yeah, we got 2 great comedians, both local, and so, I'm going to call her Sally for this.
Okay.
So we got Sally. She lives just south of us, and she's, they literally said it. She's this denomination of religion, which is basically some type of Christian. And so she say that. She says, yeah, she, has a family, and here she is. And right away, you can tell pretty quick.
Rape joke.
No one YouTubed her because she gets up there, and to be fair, just, flowing blonde hair, just what you would imagine like a churchy mom to be.
Okay.
She gets up there. Joke number 1 was a joke about her son's dick.
Yeah.
Joke number 2 was getting her husband's cum out of her hair. Back to back, right out of the gate.
How did that go?
No one laughed.
No.
300 people. She did a 20-minute set. 300 people. Not one fucking person laughed. I was laughing because of the situation was fucking hilarious.
So did you? So let me ask you this: did you laugh because of the situation? Or
no, her jokes sucked.
Really?
Like she was not good.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but the situation was fundamentally hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I look over at the table of like all the HR people for the city.
Yeah.
And they are just vigorously making notes. All of them. They're sitting at this table, just napkins out, making fucking notes on it. Because no one Googled her or YouTubed her comedy or anything.
Yeah.
They just saw, hey, let's give this person. But that brings me to the religious. She was a religious person, but like she comes out hard jokes right out of the gate.
Love it.
And she didn't give any indication that she was failing, which she was. And she's just in a wide, bright, open arena.
Let me ask you this: how would have this played in the room if I was in the audience?
Yeah.
And she did like 3 jokes, and I stood up and I started clapping. Yeah, baby! Like just in the middle. Like how would
you would have been out? Like people would have been making notes about you. Like no one was enjoying this. Like
how dare you laugh?
People were upset.
That's hilarious.
But of course, everyone's a coward and no one said a fucking thing. Everyone just sat there in silence for like 20 minutes.
Well, you know what? That's the vote, though.
Yeah.
if you don't like a joke, and I mean this for every walk of life for the rest of your life, if you don't think I'm funny, fuck yourself. Don't laugh when I make a joke.
Yeah.
That's the vote.
Yeah.
Don't complain about it. Just don't fucking laugh, because then I'll be like, oh, that didn't really hit. I'm going to try to make you laugh better the next time.
Yeah. And none of it hit. And the next guy came on.
What did he do?
He read the room, but it's funny. So I think he read the room because he saw what happened.
Okay.
So I don't know if he changed his jokes a little bit. He also he didn't really hide his humor.
Yeah.
But I'll give him credit for being smart, because he's a black dude.
Okay.
And there was probably no other black dudes in this fucking arena that I could see. And so he came on, and joke number one, because he knows they're going to bring up the HR bullshit of this girl being mean and gross.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, yeah, thanks for having me. There's not a lot of black dudes work here in this city, eh? It's his first joke out of the gate. And then he just started hammering it and made them all look kind of stupid. So he turned it on the HR people. He read the room very well.
That's awesome.
And played that very well. So yeah, he was pretty funny.
I went, it was last summer, and I went with you to a comedy show.
We did.
And behind you, I don't know if you know this, but behind you was our local equivalent of a senator or a local, like a provincial representative.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay, so in where we're from, it's called an MLA.
Yeah,
and so our local MLA was sitting behind you, and so I was distracted because we're so hyper aware of shit and jokes and offensive and super leftist stuff, right? I watched the comedy show, but after every joke, I would look over at her and I'm like, I wonder what she finds funny.
Yeah.
And I bet you everybody, it's tough to be in that position because
Totally.
you're not allowed to laugh at anything.
No.
Like how, you know what I mean? Like if you laugh at something,
someone's writing a letter.
Someone's writing a letter. If you don't laugh at something, someone's writing
a letter. Yeah.
Like what a horrible position to be in.
And what did she do?
She didn't laugh a lot.
No? Kind of smile thing?
Kind of smile, nod her head.
Smile, nod.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, if
she's putting on a show herself.
Yeah.
Like that's all fake.
Like every time you go out at the show.
You have to.
Yeah. Which is, I felt bad for her.
I didn't see her there.
Yeah. She was sitting right behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my religious comedy story.
Yeah.
To mind.
You know what? That's a great story, by the way.
It was.
Did she touch on religion when she was up there?
Not really. No. She's just pretty vulgar.
Yeah.
In comedy, and her jokes didn't really land from like a comedy side, I guess.
Okay.
But it just that situation was, oh man.
Yeah.
I haven't laughed that hard in a while. Just that situation side, which was nice. Yeah, that's her.
You know what? That's good stuff. That was good.
That was nice. Eat shit and live, Corbyn.
Eat shit and live, Tanner.
Eat shit and live, buddy.
I'm telling you.
I'm going to find it.
I laughed so hard because I forgot it was in there. Because sometimes you don't watch the show for a while and you forget like when something lands really hard. But eat shit and die. Eat shit and live. I'm like, that's good. Because I'm using that the next time it happens.
Yeah, that should almost be our slag line for this.
Actually,
for this show.
You know what? At the end of every show, eat shit and live.
Eat shit and live. Hey,
eat shit and live, everyone.
Corbyn, where can they find us?
You know, you can find us on all the podcast networks. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. You can find us on social media on Apathy Podcast and Radical Apathy Podcast on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. Great job.
And there's a YouTube channel if you want to just watch nothing.
Yeah, if you want to just watch a blank screen of our logo.
But also hear us.
But then hear it.
You can imagine what we're doing.
Yeah. Will there ever be a time where we're on video?
You know what? I think the space we're in doesn't allow for it.
Okay. Is it because we have to be naked when we do it?
Well, or is that
just a house rule?
Well, if you're bringing it up to me now, I was actually going to bring this up to you in private. But I was like, once you get into your new digs, if there's like a place where you have two chairs close to each other, that might be a better place for us to do it where we can film it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think in the space we're in is filmable.
There is a studio in the place I'm going to.
Get out.
Yeah.
Or so that's where you're going to keep your computer, obviously.
No, not in the other areas.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the shared
living
group areas.
Yeah.
A studio. What is a studio? Like a
big office studio thing.
Like an office studio, like a library type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doable.
Like, is it a study or is it a library?
I would say more study than library.
Have you seen it?
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah. It's not done yet.
Yeah, but you're very certain about what that.
I mean, I have a picture that says it's there, but that's about it. So what I guess there will be a time
Yep.
when people may be able to watch a moving picture.
I really hope that happens.
Yeah.
I just right now it's just we're just so unfilmable and the angles are weird.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to get my triple chin in there.
yeah, and I'm very ugly.
Yeah, well, we both are.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's, I mean, ugly people are on TV all the time.
You know who's ugly?
Who's ugly?
Those those guys from that other podcast we were on. What was that one? Hideous.
See, no, I thought they were handsome.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
You looked at them.
I did.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Puke City.
They were
They're like Brad Pitt except for the everything.
they were like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise's stunt doubles.
They check all the boxes if
Yeah.
boxes were ugly.
Radical Apathy Podcast.
Radical Apathy Podcast, everybody. And listen to that podcast, which is called The Average Superior.
They are super funny.
Yeah, they're super
They're
funny.
good guys. So
Yeah.
appreciate y'all. Hope you have a good week. We'll see you in a fortnight when we're back, and love y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.